Hi guys, thanks for coming back to us. You can too here, hopefully delivering more deliciousness today. I'm constantly asked about soup recipes. Can you let me have a soup recipe? What sort of things can I put in soup? Soup is one of the easiest things to make. It's just basically whatever you want. Water, meat, stock cubes, vegetables. You put in it what you like. For things like pumpkin and everything, you need like curry spices and stuff like that because it does need spicing up and flavouring. I'm going to do a couple of quick and easy, well not quick and easy, but one quick and easy, one fairly long-winded but well worth it soup. The soup I'm going to start today is a pea and ham soup. I've got a gammon joint here. Now I'm just going to do as per the manufacturer's instructions. So I'm going to cut it open. It's got a plastic sleeve around it. Leave that sleeve on when you boil it. We will be cooking it either in the slow cooker or oven later, but initially for the first boiling you need to leave that sleeve on. I'm going to rinse it under the tap to try and get rid of some of the saltiness because it is salty. We usually get smoked gammon because we prefer the taste, but if you don't like the taste of the smoke then just get the oil. So I'm going to pop that in my pan just like that. Celery, just some big chunks of celery. This is just your starting stock. So there's probably about 3 or 4 sticks of celery there. Right, I'm not peeling anything, I'm not doing anything, it's just to cook it in. It's just to give us some flavour in the cooking liquor because we will be saving the cooking liquor to go into the soup later on. So again, just big chunks, don't peel them. Just chop them into big chunks. I've got 3 reasonable sized carrots there. And I just pop those in the pan too. Sorry, I had to transfer it to a bigger pan because I've got a bigger gammon joint this time. Onions, don't peel them because there's flavour and colour and everything in the skins. And again, as I say, this is just to start it off. And you just cut them in quarters, just whole onions, and throw them in. Bits like that come off, then don't worry about them. Got 3 probably about medium-sized onions there. Garlic, and again with your garlic, what I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go, sort of 7, 6 or 7 cloves of garlic. Just skin on, bash them. Just put the side of the knife on, angling the blade down because you don't want to cut your hand, and just give it a whack and it'll come out like that. And you just do half a dozen of those. I'm going to put 4 chicken stock cubes in there. Again, don't worry about dissolving them and all the rest of it because they'll dissolve in the pan. You know how much I love my herbs, so I'm going to put a tablespoon of just ordinary mixed herbs in there. A couple of bay leaves. If you've got fresh, use fresh. If you've just got dried, which are perfectly fine, that's what I'm using, then put dried in. And black peppercorns. Sorry, black peppercorns. Just about probably a teaspoonful. It won't make it hot, it'll just add flavour to it. A kettle of boiling water here. I'm just going to pour that over. Until it's just about covered. It doesn't have to be covered because you will turn it about halfway through the cooking process. Put that on full heat until it comes up to the boil. And then once it's boiling, I shall turn it down to a really low heat, as low as I can get it, and just leave it simmering. That, because of the size of the joint, is going to be on there for about an hour or so. And then obviously we'll come back to that in a little while. Okay, so we'll see you shortly. Right, so my ham boiled for about an hour and a half. I had a 1.3 kilo joint of gammon. I've boiled it, I've cooled it a little bit, and I've torn it down into shreds. You can cut it, but I like it just torn up like this. I think it looks nicer. and it seems to cook down better. I'm just going to tip all that meat in there. I strained the meat off. I've kept the juice, but all the vegetables that I used earlier I've thrown away because they'll just be pulp. Excuse me, when we go to serve the when we go to sort of freeze or serve or whatever the soup, they would just be pulp and they're not worth keeping, but we have got fresh stuff to go in. Right, that's all my stock. That's all the cooking juices I used earlier. I've got, the best is actually the bags of like new potatoes, or the little potatoes, and just put them in whole. I'm using these because we buy our potatoes by the sack, and we've just bought a sack, so I'm not going to buy a bag of potatoes to put in. And again, this is bulk cooking for us, so I've got about 4 onions that I've chopped quite coarsely. Just throwing those in. Give it a stir. It won't need any more garlic or anything because the garlic is still in the stock from earlier. I've got 4 large carrots that I've chopped again, quite chunky. Stir those in. About 4 more celery sticks, which I've chopped a bit finer than they were before. You can put whatever you want in this. I put in what we like, but as I say, you can put in whatever you want. I've added 3 green peppers and 1 yellow pepper, and I've got about a punnet of mushrooms. What I've done, the smaller ones I've chopped in half, and the bigger ones I've chopped into quarters. So they're, you know, again, it wants to be quite chunky. Right, so I'm popping the lid back on that. Sort of push it down a bit, and I'm going to leave that. I've got it on a low setting, and I'm going to leave that for about 4 or 5 hours just to sort of cook down, and then when the next stage comes, we'll add the peas and finish it off. Okay, so I went back on a high heat for about 4 to 6 hours, just so it cooks through and makes that meat all really tender and everything. Just before I do that, I use Lockwoods Cook and Serve mushy peas. If you don't like these, you can use yellow split peas, use whatever you want, but it is a pea and ham soup. So I'm just going to pour those into the top. And stir them in. And we're back again. That's had about 5 hours, maybe 6 hours in the slow cooker. All the stuff's cooked down, the meat's all lovely and tender. You can see it's absolutely falling apart, which is just what I wanted. And what I'm going to do with that is leave it to cool down, and then I shall bag it. I usually bag it in 500ml portions, which is about a pint. I do it like that purely and simply because if you buy the Slimming World soups from Iceland, they do theirs in 500ml portions. It's a lovely filling soup and completely sin-free on Slimming World. So that's that then. I'm actually going to put a bowl out so you can see what it looks like, but I'm going to freeze all of this. See, the potatoes are all soaked in the vegetables and everything. Everything's really yummy in there, and it's not meant to be thick. Crush some of the potatoes down a bit. They'll just squash on the side, and mix them in, and that will thicken it up a bit for you. And that's all you need to do. And there you have it. One very delicious pea and ham soup. Always remember, guys, cooking's really easy to do. You can enjoy it, you can get on with it, and it's always an experiment. I rarely get things tasting exactly the same twice. Just chuck a bit of this in, chuck a bit of that in, have fun with it, enjoy it. Always remember, you can too. Thank you for watching.